of the hour. We're back on Get Up. We open with the Pistons and Knicks. How about the game of the night last? Both games spectacular. Clippers win this one 105-102. Kawhi Leonard turning back the clock with his 39, his most in a playoff game since 2021. When healthy, and how many times do you say these words out loud? When healthy, Kawhi Leonard is as good as anybody in the NBA. Yesterday was his fourth career playoff game with at least 30 points on 75% shooting. Only James Worthy has more in the shot clock era, which goes back to 1955. Remarkable. So that's one LA team. Let's go to the other. LeBron and Luka and the Lakers trying to even up their series for the Timberwolves tonight after getting blown out Saturday. LeBron held in check with 19. Luka had 37, but just one assist. This is a big perk on NBA Today yesterday, talking about the importance of tonight for LA.
The Lakers got to win. They're in a must-win situation, game 2. Otherwise, they're going to get swept. And I wouldn't say that with that much confidence if Anthony Edwards wasn't on the other side. He's going to make you feel pain any chance he get. You better win game 2.
That was big perk yesterday. So we have Marcus Morris and Carlos Boozer with us, but I'm going to start with D. Wood because I want to hear the voice of the fan. I want to hear the voice of the Laker fan. Is your season on the line in game 2 tonight?
Greeny, we got to win tonight. We got to win tonight because I think Anthony Edwards smelled blood in the water. He smelled it. Like when they put that performance the Minnesota Timberwolves put on, they knew. Like they straight punked the Lakers at home the other night. They did. They played with more. They played with more sense of urgency. They played with more physicality. Where were the Lakers role players? Where was Austin Reeves? Where was Rui Hachimura? Like none of those guys showed up. But the thing that I hang my hat on with the Lakers, what they need to do, I think it starts defensively. They got to play better. They could not stay in front of the Minnesota players all night long. Anthony Edwards and company had their way driving through the lane and then kick out to wide open threes. If you can't play defense in the postseason, you have no shot. I don't care how good Luka plays. I don't care how good LeBron plays. If you don't play defense in the postseason, you will be sitting at home in Cancun. You'll be sitting beside me, okay? And I don't want my Lakers sitting beside me. I can say that.
How about D. Wood for a basketball analyst, right? Is that outstanding? We can all just sit back and listen. Marcus, so let's get directly onto the floor. What is the one thing you told me this morning in the meeting the Lakers absolutely need tonight to get back in this series?
And I agree with Woody. I definitely think they need to play defense. But to be honest, I think LeBron James had to assert himself offensively in game 2. Like he has to get easy basket. He has to get in that lane, and he has to dominate this game offensively. He has a great mind. We know he can play defense. We know he can slide with anyone to switch 1 through 5. But offensively, he has to take control of this game. I think it will open up for the others that give him more confidence, but I need to see LeBron be very offensively assertive to start this game and to finish this game.
What are you watching for LeBron tonight?
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's going to come out aggressive. I think he knows that he can give more. We've seen him do it time and time again. Like, how many times have he lost game 1 and we saw game 2 him be just locked in and be unbelievable? For me, it's the others. Hayes had 1 point. Finney-Smith had 3 points. Vanderbilt 2 points. Hachimura 9. Vincent 3. Only 13 bench points. The others have to step up. I do agree with Woody and with Marcus. Obviously, Luka's going to be unstoppable. He has to play great. LeBron has to be unstoppable. He has to play great. But the others have to assist their stars.
I find it interesting, and I'd be curious during your career how much of a factor this is. Shows like this one, we have a Laker fan now, we have a Knicks fan now, we have all these big market stuff. There were some players, I think Reggie Miller was always a little bit like this, and I feel like Ant is a little bit like this. Like, you guys like to talk about them all the time. Let me show you what I'm doing here. He doesn't get the attention because where he played, last year he made the great playoff run and all that. There are some players who I think kind of like that. They thrive on that. And I feel like Anthony Edwards is that guy.
Yeah, I think Ant's definitely that guy. I think he watches. I think he pays attention. I think he wants to be the guy. I think that, like what he said, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder because all of us picked the Lakers to win this series. Right. All of us picked the Lakers to win game 1. Minnesota won game 1. They're playing with an edge. Ant loves that. If they go back to Minnesota up 2-0, can you imagine the Timberwolves? It's going to be hard for the Lakers.
For what it's worth, they had big leads. Didn't they have a 3-0 lead on Denver last year and almost gave it all back and wound up winning in 7? So we'll see. Critical game tonight. In the meantime, there was one other NBA thing. Normally during the playoffs, I wouldn't ever sidetrack our conversation into something like this. But Nico Harrison, the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks, of course, orchestrated the huge trade this year, sending away Luka Doncic. He was asked if the anger of the fan base has exceeded his expectations, and he said this.
I did know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to what level, but really the way we looked at it is, you know, if you're putting a team on the floor that's Kyrie, Clay, PJ, Anthony Davis, and Lively, we feel that's a championship caliber team, and we would have been winning at a high level, and that would have quieted some of the outrage.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. I knew the fans loved him. I didn't know just quite how much. Listen, everyone who has reacted to this, you guys, and I think Charles said it, like everyone has said, Nico's a great guy. But he just can't talk like this. I've never met him in my entire life. I'll take your word for it that he's a great guy. But that's an unimaginable thing to say. If you're going to say that, you're much better off not saying anything, right? You're much better off saying, you know what, I'm done talking about this. I made a trade. Let's see where the chips all fall. It feels to me like every time I look up, someone's got a microphone in his face and he's talking about it. Booze, it feels to me like if he's going to say that, he's better off not saying anything.
Nico is a great guy.
Great guy.
Phenomenal guy.
What a guy.
Come on, man. Come on. I mean, like, there's no question that Luka Doncic is the second most favorite Maverick of all time behind Dirk Nowitzki. He was phenomenal in his career with the Mavericks. Did a great job there. I do agree with him. If the team is healthy, Kyrie, AD, Clay, the guys that they have on their team Lively, they're probably a contender for the Western Conference. However,
they were in the finals last year.
Everybody loves Luka, not just Mavs fans. Even the guys that go, like, if you're a Laker fan, you love watching Luka play.
Absolutely.
So that was a misstep on his part, but I would like to see this team healthy next year.
Well, Marcus, I mean, what?
Listen, Greeny, listen. From a guy that's been a role player his entire career, that's like based my career upon being a super role player, I think Nico need to take a page out of my book, right? You are not the guy, Nico. Even though you talk about trading Luka Doncic, you weren't the guy that traded Luka Doncic. You had to take that a step above your head. Please just stop talking about it. You are a great guy. If I'm a fan, let's start talking about next year, right? Let's start talking about why you made the trade, what's to look for next year, and even if you have to...
Các bạn sẽ gấp nó xuống như vậy cho mình nhé. Tiếp theo này.